Hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. Today is Wednesday, the 12th of July. My name is Betty Johnson. I'll be your host for Happy Hump Day as we are eagerly looking forward to a weekend. Hopefully it's going to be as nice as last weekend. We are so glad to have you along and taking time out from your day to join us. Of course, we know a lot of you join us on Charter Channel 8, where we can be found 6 days a week. We're also out there on the internet at YouTube and blip.tv and on Facebook. And if you like us on Facebook as well, you will receive a link to each new show, and also you will be enrolled in the chance to win this wonderful calendar. Now, we do want to get a close-up of that. We're going to be giving several of these away for the next few weeks. It's called Hot Looks for a Cure. It is funding to help raise money for cancer research. And it's a 14-month calendar, which is always nice. And the men they're opposing are area firemen, policemen, farmers, and they are doing that. They are dedicating their month to someone that they know who has passed away from cancer. So it's a good fundraiser. You like us on Facebook, we will have a drawing, and we will announce on Monday who is the recipient of this calendar and also where they can be purchased. And as always, the Owatonna Today Show welcomes any ideas you may have for guests or topics, or if you have some questions or comments, you can email us at owatonnatoday@charter.net or contact our producer, Leanne Alt, at 390-5751. Very interesting show and lineup of guests today. We're going to welcome back Deb Gillard, a familiar face here with the Owatonna Today Show, from Brookdale Senior Living, and Jon Huemoeller with Fernbrook Family Center. And we're going to be doing that all on the other side of the break, so don't go away.
I'm Dan Branstad of Carlson Branstad & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, this is Laura Ressler greeting you from the Steele County Historical Society's History Center, where we're honoring the past and looking towards the future. We're proud to be a sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Our first guest is, as I said, a familiar face of the Owatonna Today Show, Deb Gillard from Brookdale Senior Living.
Hi, Betty.
Welcome back, Deb.
Thank you.
Nice to have you along. How are things going at Brookdale Senior Living?
Wonderfully. It's been about a year, actually, I think, since I left the hosting
close.
of the program and left it in, obviously, capable hands between you and Shelley. I've been on once with Shelley before, and so glad to be with you here on the Owatonna Today Show. But things are going very well. I love the new position at Brookdale Senior Living, and so one of the things I know that I want to start with is kind of identifying who we are, and some really exciting things that are happening at Brookdale Senior Living. We are, of course, locally, we're Sterling House and Clarebridge. So we're Sterling House Personalized Assisted Living, and we're Clarebridge, which is a memory care community.
And you're located where?
Cedardale Drive. So
okay,
334
and south end of town.
364. Yeah, if you kind of curl around off of 22nd, you're going to go around Cedardale Drive and come back up. That's how I usually describe it. If you know where, here's the landmark: the old Pizza Hut, building, or the tanning and laundromat, and Carlson Branstad tax accounting and sweet towing. They're all
right
back
there,
but
the Federated.
Little further on into the residential area, and that's where
Okay.
you come around and find us. Interestingly, though we've been our parent company is Brookdale Senior Living. Of course, we don't really go by that as much locally, and so people would know us as Sterling House and Clarebridge. But one of the things I did want to mention today is that Brookdale has decided to, just at the beginning of this year, and with a lot of preparation last year, embark on a national ad campaign that really talks about what we do. And so overall, we're located in 36 states nationally.
Okay.
And in some of those states, and in fact some cities, like in the Twin Cities metro area, we also encompass independent living. We do not have that here in Owatonna.
Okay.
There also is innovative senior care, which is an in-home care. In some states, we have skilled nursing, which is nursing home, as people might know it as. But here in Owatonna, we just have the two aspects that are the memory care, Clarebridge, and Sterling House Assisted
And in
Living.
other states, they're all under different names as well, too, right?
They could be, and even in other cities. If someone travels frequently up to the Twin Cities, I'm going to get this wrong. Edina Park Plaza is a much larger building, and they encompass independent living, assisted living, and memory care. Freedom Point, Minnetonka, the same. But again, we're all under the Brookdale umbrella. And so what Brookdale decided to do this year was to kind of scoop us all together and say, we need to talk about what we do. We need to talk about finding solutions for the families, and that is truly what we do. My job is to visit with families, to visit with people in the community, for instance, discharge planners at the hospital and so on, when they're looking for some place that someone needs, and again, that's either family or someone in a professional capacity, where can they go? And we want them to at least give us a call, and we can maybe help them start that journey. So what I really like about what you're going to see on the TV commercials, if you haven't already, and in magazines.
She's going to play it for us, by the way.
I'm going to play one of the TV commercials because I think that it's really a goal of mine to say, yes, that is Brookdale, and that is who we are here in Owatonna. So even though, again, we don't use our Brookdale name as frequently as Sterling House and Clarebridge, I want people to know this. Now, it's seen on CNN, Hallmark, HGTV, and the Food Network. We also have magazine ads.
Print ads, too.
Yep,
Okay.
Print ads that are in Ladies' Home Journal, Better Homes and Gardens, I think More Magazine, and Real Simple. And what you're going to see in all of them is what I like to call kind of the mosaic. I don't know if you can really see this, but you'll see a gentleman's face here, and you'll see this in the commercial that I'm going to play as well. And what it's meant to do is show, here's where the camera goes backwards, and I go, oh, there we go, he's flying. But what it shows is little pieces of who this person has been throughout their life. When he had more hair, when he wore a hat, when he had glasses, when his skin wasn't wrinkled, when, as we all go through the changes in our life, this is what we eventually approach old age. And what does that mean? It means people come to us with a full life, and we want that to continue, whether we're working with them personally, whether we're working with a spouse, whether we're talking to adult sons or daughters, that we want to help find the solution to what they need. So
that has been running for how long now, that ad?
We kicked off in April, I think at the very end of April. Yes, because it was just prior to the Senior Expo. Okay. So with your indulgence here, of course, it's going to tell me that I lost my connection.
Oh, no, hopefully not.
It did.
Well, I
okay.
have seen the ad on HGTV. And,
let's see if
here we go.
Here we go.
She's my mother. I'm her little girl. And now that she's growing older, it's my job to help care for her. But it's still her time to live, and my time to just be her daughter again. How can we get back to that? And who knows the way? When the time comes to determine how you or your loved one will spend their later years in life, don't struggle. Solve it together. Visit Brookdale.com to customize your senior living solution today.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is. And
beautiful lady with lots of life.
I've seen that several times. I'm a big viewer of HGTV and Food Network, and never made the connection.
Yeah,
and we never made the correlation.
And what we want people to know here is start the conversation. Let us help you start the solution. The solution may not be at that particular time somebody is starting the conversation with us. It may not be a care community like us.
You need to know your options.
We want to help you.
You need to know your options.
You do, and you need to start looking sooner than maybe an emergency warrants you having to look quickly and not having those options.
So now, do you find that most of the people, it's the people themselves who need the care come to you, or is it a family member? What is probably the most?
When we're talking about memory care, so our Alzheimer's and dementia community, which is Clarebridge, we are definitely looking at more the family. Obviously, someone could come to see us with maybe mild cognitive impairment, but it's much more likely that we're going to be either seeing the whole family together with that individual there, or again, we have spouses who know that they're beyond the scope of taking care of that person at home, adult children who may find themselves in the same situation, and just knowing that the Alzheimer's or dementia has progressed to an area that they can no longer take care of them safely at home, and the key word is safely too, and maintaining that quality of life.
And most of the family members probably live outside the community.
They can. We find some people that move to us because the loved one is out of the community, and then they move here because their children are close by and can come and see them. So anyway, when you see the Brookdale, think of us, Sterling House and Clarebridge, and give me a call if you have any questions about finding the solution or even starting the conversation. Very non-invasive. I like to talk with families and help them find a way.
And now that's just one of the things that you do. You provide that.
Yep. So we talk about our care communities, and just a few of the things that I want to mention. We are also out in the community as well, the greater community, Owatonna and Steele County, doing. We have educational opportunities. I've had a series that's very well received by some of our professionals in the area. It does give them credit of continuing education for nurses, social workers, and case managers.
Well.
Yeah, they earn a credit. It's a program produced and televised, and it's a live teleconference that we're a part of through Brookdale Senior Living. And our next one here in July is Older Adult Wellness Research Update. There have been panel discussions, lessons learned from the Blue Zones, if you've heard of the Blue Zones. Suicide prevention in older adults is an upcoming topic. Lots of really good information for those who may be working with governmental, like county agencies or nurses in any capacity. We also do, I also help to train and teach an Alzheimer's and caregiver educational series. And so that one is coming up. Normally it's the third Tuesday, but I'm on vacation next week. So it's on the 23rd instead of the 16th, and that's at Senior Place.
Okay.
And that's at 10 in the morning every third Tuesday. We'll be talking about dementia-friendly dining and meal times. And it might be something you don't think of, but even if you're caring for that person at home, again, it's not about our care community necessarily.
So that's
how to manage that.
That's not necessarily for professionals then? This could be
It's for
anybody?
anyone, absolutely
That is
anyone.
open to
Could be
anybody?
professionals, could be those children or family members that we were talking about, or anybody who wants to know a little bit more. Some of the other topics we've talked about are pain management, and we'll be talking about brain health and wellness, about certain behaviors that are associated with Alzheimer's and dementia that people might not expect.
Some people are caring for their parents in their home, are they not?
They
so
are.
those help
So
provide.
are very good. And again, any of these things
too.
I would suggest people call me. I'm not even going to get my plug in for the Walk to End Alzheimer's, but I have to at the very
Go
end.
ahead,
So
go ahead, yes.
no, we also offer a memory care support group, and that is also on the third Tuesday of every month.
Memory Care Support Group.
That's at our Clare Bridge community. It's at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's a great group of people, some of whom have loved ones with us at Clare Bridge, and some, again, who are from the outside community
Okay.
who just want to come in and talk about things that they're dealing with. It's obviously great. And I'm going to suggest that people give me a call on that number listed
Right.
if they have any questions. Now, quickly, ask me about Walk to End Alzheimer's.
Okay,
I'm
what
pretty
about the
excited
Walk
about
to End
this. And I just touched my
Alzheimer's?
microphone and made a big noise here, I'm sure. The Walk to End Alzheimer's, we're having the very first one in Owatonna this year on October 5th. So I want to encourage people to go on the website, alz.org, click 55060, find the walk near you, support a team, join a team, come and join us on that day, watch and listen for more information because it's going to be great. We are really, really excited because it's the very first year we're able
well,
to do it.
hopefully you'll come back and give us more information.
I would love to.
Time comes to that.
Since I ran out of time.
again. Deb,
Thank you,
thank
Betty.
you for joining us today. And when we come back, we're going to be talking with Jon Huemoeller, and we're going to the Fernbrook Family Center. So stay with us.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty,
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clare Bridge of Owatonna.
and we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Ann Plaskanko here from Senior Place, and it's our 25th anniversary this year. We provide health and wellness programs, and one of those programs is massage therapy with Betsy Wright.
Yes, Repose Massage can give you pain and stress relief naturally. So make an appointment today.
Yes, and find out all the other programs and services we have to offer and join Senior Place today.
Have you talked to your teen about marijuana lately? Maybe you should. Regular marijuana use can sap a teen's motivation to learn. Users do not live up to their potential and drop out of positive activities. Marijuana affects memory and learning and stays in your system for weeks. Marijuana also affects judgment and perception. Reaction time when driving is reduced by 41% after smoking one joint and 63% after smoking two, affecting the safety of your teen and other drivers on the road. You need to talk to your teen about the effects of marijuana use. It's not just a harmless high. For more information, please contact the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name's Dave Olson, and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back now with Jon Huemoeller, who is with the Fernbrook Family Center. Nice to have you along, Jon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
First of all, Fernbrook Family Center, explain to us a little bit about for people who may not know or be familiar with who and what are they?
Okay. Well, Fernbrook Family Center, we have been around for 12 years now. This is our 12th year. And we provide essentially mental health counseling to individuals who have mental health disorders.
Okay.
Typically, it's a little different than some counseling centers because a lot of what we do is often in the home or in the community.
Oh.
We do some office-based work, but a lot of what we do is actually go to clients' homes, or essentially we go to where the problem is. So if a particular child was at risk of being asked to leave a daycare setting because the child was biting. Say.
Is it basically you focus on children?
We do adults and kids, but I would say 80% of what we do is kids. The other 20 is probably adults, and then we do a lot of family work as well. So family therapy, and then what's
As
called
to how to handle and to coexist.
Could be, could be. Often though we would. See individual adults. Often the adults that we see are, we get a referral for a child, and we will get in the home, and as we're beginning to do the work and the assessment, we might find out that a parent has a mental health disorder of some kind that impacts their ability to provide the care that they would want to. And then so often that might lead us to providing individual services for that adult as well as the child. Might lead to traditional family therapy, but it could be more skills-based, where we're working with a parent on how to do a timeout, right? Something just basic, like how to actually get a kid to sit in a timeout and comply.
Now, what is your position?
I am. I'm both the co-owner and then clinical director as well.
Okay.
So I do a lot of management of managers. And then try to, I guess, set the tempo, if you will, in terms of the clinical philosophy that we're going to use as we work with individuals and families.
Now, I should ask where you're located as well for people who want.
Well, we have 5 different offices. We're in 7 counties here in southeastern Minnesota. Our main office is here in Owatonna. Right now, we are on 631 North Cedar Avenue. And then we do have an office in Waseca, in Faribault, in Casson, in Rochester, and then Red Wing as well.
Okay, so do you have a big staff there, or is it a small
we're
staff?
a little over 100, I think, 100 staff.
How many here in Owatonna?
Oh my, 30 some.
Okay,
I guess
so
I don't even. It's terrible, but I actually don't even know the actual
So now
numbers.
you do most of your. Let's talk about children to begin with. Are they referrals from someone that says, I think this child may need your services, or a parent come in as like a teacher or daycare? You said, how do you separate? What is an emotional, probably behavioral thing from what may be.
Say an organic mental illness?
Like ADHD, for example.
Well,
where's that coming at?
I mean, we have mental health professionals, people who are legally able to make those diagnoses. We have, it's sort of the mental health Bible. It's called the DSM-4. Just released, though, is now the DSM-5, just came out the last month or two. And that has different classifications of the various mental health disorders that are out there. So, for example, with ADHD, in the DSM, there would be a list of 8 to 12 criteria that if a child met a certain number of those criteria, you could then give them the diagnosis of ADHD. There is not, though.
That's behavioral.
It's behavioral. Yep. There is not a blood test that I could give to a kid and pull blood and say, look, yep, that's ADHD.
So, what would be a typical that a child might demonstrate, or depression? Are there a lot of depression?
A lot of depression.
We
see a lot of depression. We see a lot of anxiety, a lot of ADHD. There are some behavioral diagnoses like oppositional defiant disorder, commonly called ODD.
I know what ODD. Okay.
Yep. And then there's another one called conduct disorder.
Do they go hand in hand? I mean, behavior is a result of probably the disorder. I mean,
could be. Yeah. I mean, a lot of kids with ADHD could have a oppositional defiant disorder diagnosis as well. That would not be uncommon.
Oppositional defiant
disorder.
You know, just
the problem,
those words here, I was going to say, I think all of us from one time or another
if you
demonstrated some of that.
If you were to pull the DSM out and you were to look at the criteria for oppositional defiant disorder, you know, one of the criteria is often argues with adults. Okay, so yeah, so if I were to run through, you know, the list, and I can't even remember right now. I think you need 5 of 8 of the criteria, but they're all similar to often argues with adults or failures to comply with requests. I would have been at age 14 diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder.
Kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Now there is a level though of, you know, when a child is, you know, essentially 90% of the time never complies, when you're, you know, constantly fighting, there is a severity you have to take into account.
How do you deal with that? How do you treat that? Because, you know, you have teachers in the schools that are faced with so many different types of behavioral situations.
Schools are another animal. Schools are asked to do a lot. Schools are asked to do a lot. But, you know, again, you have to go back to, you know, why is the child oppositional? Have we not had enough structure in that home from very early on? And so the child, you know, is it a learned behavior? And if it is learned, how do we then unlearn it? So how do we bring structure to a house if that's the problem? So it's always a matter of, you know, first and foremost, working out sort of how we got in this position. You know, why are we here? So you have to come up with your hypothesis first, and then you set your interventions to essentially test those hypotheses, if that makes sense.
Do you also recommend use of drugs? Are you drug free, or because there's a lot of controversy on that, giving drugs to kids for behavior
we do not
disorders.
have a psychiatrist on staff, so we have no one on staff who can prescribe medicine, but a high percentage of our kids would be taking psychotropic medicine of some kind. I'm not opposed to it, but I would say it's probably overused. But I'm not opposed to the use of psychotropic
So how do you
medicine.
discern with children someone who may have a behavior or, you know, kind of disorder from someone who's just being plain naughty?
Well, one way to do that often is to look at. You know, we sort of think about the settings that kids are in. So kids are in home, they're in school, they're in the community. And oftentimes, if you look across that spectrum of settings and you see a child who is fairly well behaved in school, they're compliant, they're compliant in the community, but they're not compliant at home, that might tell me that that's a learned behavior in the home.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can discern that when you go into the home and work with them too. I'm sure it's a lot of the interaction kind of promotes it.
Excuse me. By going into the home, you get a much better sense of what that family really looks like and how it operates, right? Whereas someone comes into my office, they come into my environment, into my setting, they sit down, and they tell me whatever it is they want to tell me.
But you don't get the full picture.
You don't get the full picture.
Are parents usually pretty receptive to the idea of somebody coming in from outside into the home?
Yeah, most are. Most of our referrals are people who have called and said, I need help. I can't manage this situation
At the
anymore.
breaking point.
We do have a small percentage of clients where they are court ordered, they are mandated by the court, and
would that be more adults?
It'd be more child protection type issues where maybe a parent has used what's called corporal punishment with a child or something like that. And not always, but sometimes when we knock on those doors, they're not quite as receptive. They're not as happy to see us as someone who's called and said, I need help, right?
You know, all parents at some point in time need help.
They do.
So that's why
Absolutely.
it's nice to have different avenues and different options and that. So when somebody gets, you know, really, they're not always naughty. They do have something they need help with. So, John, thank you. This
You're
is
welcome.
a fascinating topic.
Thank you. Thank you
I'd
for
love to
having
talk to you even longer about it. So I hope you can come back with us.
I would love
and
to.
we can expound a little bit more.
Sure, anytime.
Jon Huemoeller,
Huemoeller, yep.
From Fernbrook Family Center. And if someone was watching this program and they go, oh yes, I want to talk to you more, how do they get in touch with you?
You could go to the website, and that is fernbrook.org, or you could give us a call. 507-446-0431 is our phone number.
Good, thank you. We'll have it on the screen as well.
Okay, beautiful. Thanks a lot.
When we come back, we're going to be touching on a few announcements, so stay with us.
Hi, I'm Amy Martinez.
And I'm Adam Martinez, owners of Snap Fitness in Owatonna.
Snap Fitness is a fast, convenient, and affordable fitness center, and we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are back, and coming up on Friday will be the second in the series of movies in the park. This time it's going to be The Zookeeper at Central Park at 9 p.m. So bring your blankets, bring your chairs, whatever your kids, and there's going to be popcorn and all kinds of refreshments served, a good time to be had, maybe a little bug spray. You never know how that's going to be either. And then the next day there's going to be Fishing Day Out at Lake Chase from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Also in Kaplan's Woods on Saturday, July 13th, geocaching from 3 until 5 p.m. And then on Sunday, there's discount admission at River Spring Water Park, $2 admission for anyone from 12 until 8 p.m. And that is some great events going on. Also, if you love those hanging water baskets that you see downtown, they don't come free. They do have a cost to them, and donations are needed. They're tax-deductible donations. All the money that they use to buy the plants comes strictly from community donations. Each basket costs about $85, so there's quite a bit of funds there. They need $8,500, and they're about $5,000 short. So, be sure to contact Melanie Sonneborg. You can give her a call if you do want to help out. And the number to call is 451-7970, 451-7970. Also coming up this weekend, the 13th and the 14th, is the Steele County Historical Extravaganza. It starts from 5:30 until 7:30 with the Chuck Wagon Supper. You do need to purchase your tickets. $12 per person. Children under 6 are free with a paid adult. There will be entertainment by Lonesome Ron. And that is, again, like I said, advance tickets only for the Chuck Wagon. And then Saturday, they have lots of different events going on. If you've never been there, you're in for a treat. If you have, you know how much fun you can have with all the music. And they have vintage baseball. There's going to be an artisan market. All the historic buildings are open. It's a good time to be had by all. Again, that's this weekend, the Steele County Historical Extravaganza. So hope to see you there. And thank you for joining us today on this Wednesday. We're going to be back on Friday when our guests, we're going to have some videos, I think, from Wasiosa Foundation and maybe a few surprise videos. So we hope to see you then. For Leanne Alt, I am Betty Johnson. This has been the Owatonna Today Show.